Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So what are your impressions of Valhalla, just for folks that have not seen it on TV or didn't watch the Ryder Cups or past majors? You know, they see a PGA maybe at a Southern Hills booth or a bet page or, whatever it may be. And they're like, Valhalla and Louisville, Kentucky. But like, look at the tournaments produced and it's insane. Yeah. It really has. And obviously, of course, I'm biased toward it.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome in. Very happy Monday to you here now, May the 6th. It is InGame Live. We are PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan, and off and running round 2 of the NBA playoffs underway here. Knicks taking on the Indiana Pacers right now. 3-pointer later, 24-17. Right now, Knicks are in front by a touchdown here, closed as a 5.5-point favorite. The total in game up a little bit higher than what it closed at, actually a little lower than what it closed at right now, which was right around that 217 mark. We're trending in that 211 to 11.5 mark. And then, of course, coming up a little bit later, we'll have game 2, a very important game 2 for the Denver Nuggets, the champs, taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, down 1-0. We've got NHL playoffs coming up with the Florida Panthers game 1 in round 2 here of the Stanley Cup playoffs, as they'll welcome in the Boston Bruins. I feel like we've had this movie before, Dave, and I think we saw it, and it didn't end well for Boston then. I don't recall it ending well for them this year either. Couple that in with about 6 or 7 Major League Baseball games, and we have what they call an absolutely loaded slate here tonight. What are you most excited about coming up here?
Well, I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say it was the Pirates and the Angels.
Yes,
no, I'm just kidding.
I knew it.
No, we got a great slate of baseball. No, it's not that game. Although I'm excited that the Pirates are winning. They're up 4-0.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
So that's fine. Let's just get it to the bullpen and get this one shut down. No, I mean, playoffs, big games, game 2s, game 1s, everything you could ask for, in addition to, some baseball games late that are 2 different studies. A pitcher coming back for Walker Buehler and the Dodgers, and the price just continues to climb and climb and climb after the Dodgers swept the Braves. So, we'll have stuff for that. Texas at Oakland, hottest team in baseball, the Oakland A's. And my goodness, they're home dogs. I mean, sometimes I got to question, what my guys are doing, like, in the odds rooms and stuff and risk rooms everywhere. It's a pick-em game. So can't wait to see what Oakland does tonight. coming off a loss after winning all week. So you said it, though. We've seen this act before. We've seen it before. Florida and Boston last year in the playoffs. But, Joe, I don't know if you've heard. Boston swept the season series 4-0 during the regular season. Are you concerned at all that, Boston, after being triumphant over Toronto on Saturday night, late in overtime, is just going to continue the momentum and walk into Florida, Sunrise Center, and win game 1?
I am actually very glad they won the entire season series, so I don't have to hear about that wonderful narrative of revenge, because revenge doesn't count when you already won 4 games this year against them, right? So I would much rather have it happened that way as opposed to Florida continuing to dominate throughout the season. But this is a horrific spot for the Boston Bruins, coming off a grueling set against Toronto, having to go to a game 7, just not fun. Although, did you notice what that score was at the end of regulation there in Toronto? Did you notice what that 3-way? Yeah, that might be one of my favorite bets coming up this year here, Dave, in the when it comes to the in the NHL player, because some of these spots are they're brutal for teams, especially when you get the games 5, 6s, and 7s. The idea that that it would be tied at the end of regulation is big time in play, Dave, at a pretty good price too. I mean, 3-1 or better is a pretty good bet, I think, when you have teams so evenly matched.
And it's so much fun when it hits because you don't have to sweat who's going to win the game. Just let's
correct.
get it tied going into the third, and then if we get a score and a score back, and then everybody's just like, all right, don't make a mistake. There's no penalties called. You don't have to worry about, again, a power play chance late. They just don't happen. So it's very, very likely, and it's more likely to happen now as we get closer to the end, like you said, in the later part of the series, 5, 6, and 7. But we got all the favorites to win the first round of the NHL playoffs. We got the 8 best teams. You want to talk about evenly matched? You want to talk about best goaltenders? We got it all. It's going to happen a lot. At 3-1 in a 7-game series, 6-game series, you're making money if you bet it every game.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Over 3-1. So, it's a good bet. And I was going to
I don't think it'll last, though. I don't think I'm glad it hit, but I'm wondering how much longer it's going to be before that is that's down to $1.75.
I was excited to text you on Saturday after you and Peralt finished the show, but that Kentucky Derby with the photo finish, and I thought I better let it go because I know you had some things there. With that photo finish, had the nostrils been ahead with the other horse, I think you'd have taken about a week off. I know there were some things happening. So, I didn't even want to bring it up, but that was a good win in the hockey game. A really tough loss in the horse race.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing like finish second, third, fourth, and fifth in a superfecta. It's really absolutely fantastic. I'll take that any day. Really, if I only would have had the winner. That's great stuff. So thanks for bringing that up. I was trying to celebrate the hockey win, which kind of will never make up for the fact that we finished second, third, fourth, and fifth in the Kentucky Derby. But hey, there's always the Preakness. That'll be next here. And this whole stretch actually coming up here, Dave. I think we've got another major in the PGA Tour. We've got the second leg of the Triple Crown coming up. We've got, we're going to have the finals here eventually in the NBA and the NHL. Yeah. So the next month or so here, and finally we'll get to July. It'll be just baseball, and we can all breathe a little bit before college football begins in August. So, good stuff. We got a lot, and I mean a lot, going on here too, and even the storylines outside of the teams that are playing in the playoffs right now. You've got a lot of talk surrounding Jimmy Butler and Miami, and will Pat Riley or will not Pat Riley be trading Jimmy Butler? Could Donovan Mitchell be wearing a Heat uniform anytime soon? And a shout out to Wembanyama, who takes it like as if there was any question about this award, though. He is the NBA Rookie of the Year this year. That just came down about an hour ago, and I'm not quite sure who the hell else would have won the award, but congratulations, Wembanyama gets it, NBA Rookie of the Year pretty easily, too. And, boy, you want to talk about the NBA being in really good hands here. When you look at the youth of what we got, Ant was, 22? Wembanyama's just turned 20. It might be 21 next year. I think things are that next generation is in place here in the NBA, and they're on full display here. Halliburton right now, game is tied 27 apiece against Brunson and the Knicks. So we got a lot going on here tonight. We'll do our best to keep you posted with all of it. And eventually the Celtics will play a game in the playoffs, from what I understand. There were some questions if they're even still a franchise at this point, since we can't remember the last time we've seen them. But they do still play basketball, and they will be apparently playing basketball this week. Although just at least another 4 games at the very most, I think, there with 5, you think? 5. That's up for debate, too. But we'll take a look at it as InGame Live Primetime continues.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze's not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked out the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those 2 things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, Prime Time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Welcome back. It's InGame Live, and we are Prime Time here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan. Things have gotten very heated quickly at Madison Square Garden right now as the Pacers on top of the Knicks, 31-29 here, and the three-pointers have been draining the Pacers. Looking to get it up tempo, and I think, Dave, that was what the whole key to this game was going to be, is could the Pacers control Well, the pace. Can they get out in transition and get some buckets, which helps set up their offense? They did most of the time in Milwaukee. Milwaukee couldn't stop them. The Knicks in the first quarter did everything they could to try and limit them, and they did a decent job, but a flurry of buckets there at the end of the first tightened it up. But the Knicks seem to be running with the Pacers at this moment, Dave, which I would imagine is probably not in their best interest long-term here, but they're going to have to keep up if that's the way it's going to be. I thought the over was a good look. I took the Pacer team total over 105.5 for a bet in this game because you tell me how the Pacers, who averaged 123 during the regular season, dropped 120 or more in 4 of the 6 games they played against Milwaukee. How are they not getting at least 106 points in this game? Not that the Knicks defense is terrible, but come on. They'd have to literally mug them and not go to the free throw line to stay under 106 points.
It's if the referees just let them play and it gets very physical. I think that's the only way, right? They're probably going to shoot a lot more threes. I'm looking at it right now. The biggest lead of the game so far for the Knicks has been 8. The biggest lead of the game so far for the Pacers has been 4. Now, this is where you look to play stuff in game. I don't think you're going to get too many double-digit leads by either side here. So you could really ping-pong the bets if you're taking a side back and forth watching this game. It's going to be a 3, a miss, a 3, like the 6-point run or the 5-point run, and then it's going to stop. And I think you'll see that kind of stay within that 10-point window both ways. So I think you'll have opportunity. Now, the total's going to fluctuate, right? It's going to go up. And then, with a couple made threes by one side, it'll probably jump up around the original number because it keeps getting to that number. I'm watching it now and going back down. So it hasn't gone over 217 yet, which is what it closed in most places. It's been as low as 210, something to keep an eye on during the game. I got the hockey game on. I can tell you this right now, Florida's flying. In Boston, Swayman made 2 saves already. They could have been a goal. And again, visiting team survives the first 5 to 8 minutes of the game, doesn't allow a goal or plays them even, allows a goal and then scores a goal or actually scores first. It's a huge win. So you'll see this number creep. I mean, the series price for this thing was almost $2. I mean, the Panthers went off as a gigantic favorite. For this point in the season, this one and the Edmonton-Vancouver one, kind of surprising. It's kind of surprising, especially when the dog in both matchups won the season series against the other team.
Right.
So, I don't know. I keep an eye on the Knicks because this will be one where will we have a lull, Joe? Like, will there be a lull in this game like it feels like there's in every Knicks game where both teams can't score and they go 3-4 minutes where it's a couple free throws, no real field goals, and the total goes way down? That might be the time to play the over.
5 of 11 from 3 for the Pacers so far, 45%, just 3 of 9, 33% from the perimeter for the Knicks. The Knicks are getting to the free throw line. 7 of 8 they have made, just 2 of 3 for Indiana, but that's not really Indiana's game, so to speak here. The question is, how many times are the Knicks going to get to the free throw line? That's the question. Nobody does it better than Brunson, who is leading all scorers right now with 12 points there. 12 points, 2 boards, no assist. His assist prop was big too, 9.5. He had a big number for assists here tonight. Also, we're keeping an eye. Josh Hart, 9, 5, and 2 already. Interesting numbers there. 9, 5, and 2 for Josh Hart. His rebounding prop was over the top, 12.5 also. He's already got 5, and we've got 8 minutes to go before the break. And those that might have been all over Tyrese Halliburton in 17.5 points, well, he's got 3 points, so just 14.5 more, and you are good to go there. It's the McConnells of the world that are actually doing it for the Pacers here as he leads them with 8 points so far. So a nice little back and forth feeling out. When the Pacers have gotten out in a transition, it has worked out well for them. When the Knicks get to the free throw line, well, that works out pretty well for them as well. Knicks are without a doubt the better three-point shooting team. The question is, they've chucked up 9 already, but they're not out. They're not out shooting Indiana, who just buried another one here. So this is going to be a fascinating chess match. DiVincenzo, by the way, those that might have gone, I don't know, the alternate line at 25.5 points. Well, you only got 26 more points to go because he's yet to score a bucket, and he owned them during the 3 regular season appearances, averaging about 26 points a game in those matchups. So 35-32 there, under 7 minutes now to go at the Garden, and the Garden looks absolutely mobbed, Dave. I don't see a whole lot of Pacer fans there, though, if we're being honest.
I wouldn't think so. That's ironic that DiVincenzo has the same number of points that the Bruins have shots on goal. With 6 minutes into the game, it's 6 shots on goal for Florida and none for Boston. They can't even get it close to the net right now. Florida has kept them on the perimeter. There's been a shot wide, and one hit the side of the net. We got ourselves a battle here, Joe.
Yep. The ice time is also close to 0 there. We'll have more on it next year in Game Live Primetime.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze's not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked out the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those 2 things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring them back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, Primetime.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, so we've got to make a quick change here, by the way. I misspoke about the DiVincenzo prop here. Alternate market was just 25 or more points, and that would put his, well, still needing 25 points at this time now, 40-38 with the Pacers on top of the Knicks here 5 minutes ago at the Garden, and it is bombs away from 3 for the Pacers here. 6 of 14, 43%, just 3 of 10 for the Knicks. And it's getting actually pretty good. A nice back and forth action going here. And we did also in the Florida Panther and Boston Bruin game, we did just get, Dave, just before the last break, we were laughing on how Boston has spent absolutely 39 seconds, I believe, in the Florida Panther zone. 39 seconds of the, 6-7 minutes into the game already.
Yeah.
However, they did hit a post. They had Pasternak dinged it on the post over the right shoulder of Bobrovsky here. So they came close, but close is no cigar there, as it's still 0-0, 12 minutes to go here. What are we thinking? First, I always wanted to see if this was a prop. First goal, whoever scores the first goal wins the game. There's got to be a prop like that somewhere, right?
Yeah.
First goal wins, like first winner, game one winner wins the series kind of thing.
Yeah, there's probably is. I'll take a look here at one of the books I got because they do the next goal is like Boston, even strength, Florida, even strength, Florida power play, Boston power play, and then shorthanded. So I'm sure there's a prop, first goal, Boston wins game. First goal,
game,
Florida wins game. I don't necessarily think the way I'm watching this game now that that's going to be the case. I think either team is capable of scoring against the other team if they get down. I don't think Boston, the way they're playing right now, is capable of coming back from 2 goals down. If it gets to be, 2-0, I don't want to say it's a wrap, but man, oh man, they're playing so conservative right now. And maybe, again, it's just survive the first 10 minutes and go from there. Let's go back to the basketball for a second because we only got a couple minutes till the next break. But is either one of these teams playing tonight, the Knicks or the Pacers, a threat to the Celtics? I mean, because did you see the Celtics series price? Did you see what the number is against Cleveland? I mean, it is, again, like heat-like. The series, there it is right there.
Enough.
Great job, boys. Yeah, I mean, this is high.
It's not enough. Yeah, that's not enough. That's too cheap. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's too cheap. Yes, absolutely. Well, so what happens when they win game 1 by 20? What does that number go to?
Like it did against the Heat, right? 50-1?
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
It almost
It's going
doubles?
to be disgusting.
Yep.
Yeah. It's going to be disgusting. But the interesting thing that you and I were talking. Well, that was the whole thing, because looking at some of the markets with this, Celtics in 5 and Celtics in a sweep, it's about the same price, plus 190. So at that point, I'm playing both. I'm playing Celtics in 4 and Celtics in 5, and just kind of sit back and we'll collect the check because it's going to be it ain't going more than 5. This is not going to be a 6-game series because the Celtics have dominated the Cavs too. Not just this year. I think going back the last couple of seasons, it's been a very one-sided, series between them here. So if I can get plus 190 in 4 and 5, I'm good. I'll kick back and watch it unfold there and almost get 2-1 on my money. I'm good.
Yeah, this would be one of those ones where, I mean, you took Cleveland, they were down 18 on Sunday, had to come back. I don't know if that was much of a byproduct. I mean, obviously Cleveland won the game, but Orlando kind of gave them that opportunity to come back, didn't put them away when they had them. Would it have been an easier, equal to, or harder series had they played the Magic for the Celtics? Like, what would the price have been had they played the Magic if that series price is what it is?
Oh, ridiculous. I mean, the Magic was just, hats off to Boncaro. He's going to be a very special player there, but you got to be kidding me. Wagner and company, like that was just embarrassing on so many levels with that team. But they're very young. The bottom line is Orlando won't be a laughing stock anymore. That is for sure here. We'll have more on all of it when InGame Live Primetime continues here on the Grid.
Tory Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze's not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also it's a great pick to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, PrimeTime.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, and we are PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan as it is getting good here in Madison Square Garden with the just under 2 minutes to go before the break. 48-46 right now, Pacers on top. So in-game total 212.5 right now. The Knicks are laying 3.5 points here. They closed 5.5. The total closed right around 217. So trending to the under a bit here, but plenty of basketball still to go in this one. And I believe we finally have a look at some special teams here, Dave, in the Florida Panther Bruin playoff game. It looks like Florida on the power play first here. Last thing that the Bruins needed since they can't really keep the puck out of their own zone to begin with.
No, that was it was a clean check, but then he finished it and he held on and caused a problem, and the official had to call it. That's what happens now, right? When you get to this point in the playoffs, it's almost like they have to call it, so they'll call it. But like we saw to Vegas in the Stars game last night, there wasn't a penalty until the third period. First 2 periods, one penalty. Each team got one crack at it. It was like the officials had it. All right, you got a power play, so you get a power play, and that's it. Players decided. Right now, best player on the ice for the Bruins has been the goalie. Swayman's been unbelievable. And they withstand this power play. Watch, the momentum for Boston turn around. Maybe they'll get a goal before the period. I don't know. We got the goal horn loaded. I hope we hear it. This is one of those ones where, we did it last Monday. Every Monday night, we waited for on a Thursday night too. Waited for a touchdown to be scored. How many weeks in a row did we go without a score being made while we were on the air from 5 to 7 Pacific or 8 in Eastern? There just wasn't no scores.
Yep.
This is getting real as far as the under in game with the hockey. If you had under 5.5, you're looking pretty solid right now. I'm going to click refresh right now. It is 4.5. It's not going to have very long. So, stay ready.
Dagger.
What happened? What?
Dagger. We got a 3. Halliburton with a 3 at the buzzer before the break, and the Pacers up 6
Hello.
Up 6 at the
Hello?
break, 55-49 at the break right now. That was a heck of a ending sequence there by the Pacers as Siakam finally got involved in what was going on there. Dante DiVincenzo, by the way, also another tremendous miss at the end, but he does have 4 points right now. But the leading scorer, take a guess, folks. Jalen Brunson, 18 points in the first half for the Knicks here. Absolutely monstrous first half. And McConnell, leading scorer for the Pacers here. Everybody seems to everybody got involved in the scoring here that the Pacers have put out on the court. Turner's got 9, Shepard's got 8. Siakam finally got a couple of buckets. Halliburton 6-2-5 in the first, 6 points, 2 boards, 5 assists rather. So we could be in store for at least a double-double for Halliburton when it's all said and done. The revenge of Obi Toppin, by the way. A lot of folks thinking that Obi Toppin was going to show up and show out here. I didn't happen to think that if somebody ran him over in front of Madison Square Garden, nobody'd know who he was. But revenge is good, I guess. The fact that his 3 prop, over 1.5 made threes, was at plus money. So there were not a whole lot of people thinking Obi Toppin was going to come back to the Knicks and light them up from the outside like he did to the Milwaukee Bucks. So a lot of interesting storylines across the board here, not exactly playing out to what the Knicks thought it would be here, Dave. But in-game total, 212.5, I'm seeing. Still 3.5 for the Knicks. But this is a game of runs. What was, you said the biggest lead, I think was it even double digits at all in the first half?
So let's see. Biggest lead for Pacers was 9, and for the Knicks was 8. So expect more the same, unless the Pacers come out, get the first couple buckets, and make it double digits. But like, you got to seriously consider now, as the book, are the Knicks the dog yet? Like, I mean, we're down 6. The original number closed 6, the favorite. Now we're down 6. So the halftime number is that tricky one. We used to tease guys, you can't make the halftime line 6 when the game is 6.
No.
Because it can't end on 6. So it's either 6.5, 7, 7.5, different things like that. I don't know, Joe. I didn't watch enough to say, oh, yeah, the Knicks will be fine. The Knicks will come back. I mean, they got to start hitting some more threes. Look at the overall conference odds. Look at the overall NBA championship odds. The Pacers win this game on the road, you're going to see some drastic movement in those things. I think now, as the book, wouldn't you say, like, if we were running a book, we need to get money on everybody else in the East? Like, I don't know if this is helping the Knicks case or this is hurting the Knicks case, but I know that plus 320 ain't enough to win a conference. I don't think that's enough. I think we got to get higher than that. The Pacers number with a win today, that number's going to be less than double digits. That one's coming down.
Oh, yes, it is.
And I can't interest you in 1 second on taking a stab at the Cavs price, right? No chance.
You want me to? I can stab it. It's so go ahead, give it to me, and I'll start flailing away here. I'll do a vintage psycho move because it's not going anywhere except up. Plus 2,900 might as well be plus 39,000 at this point because they won't win a game. Not one game, unless. And this is the big caveat here in any series involving the Celtics. The Cavs won't beat the Celtics. The Celtics will. So that is the biggest worry that you have to have as a Celtics fan or as a Celtics backer. You got to worry that the Celtics do what the Celtics have done for a little while now here, is figure out ways to make other teams look much better than they are. They did it a game against Miami. They did it all throughout the playoffs last year. They caused a lot of wear and tear on their bodies last year on their way to that finals loss against Miami because they couldn't close out Atlanta in the first round. They should have closed them out. Instead, they couldn't close anybody out at home. They had to play extra games against Atlanta, who they should have killed. I mean, go down the list, and all of a sudden they're down 3-0 against the Heat. So you have to, you got to be careful with the Celtics and hope that all of that disgustingness in years past is finally behind them, and now they're going to live out to what their real potential is, because quite honestly, this team should not lose, I would think, any more than 2 to 3 games the rest of the way to the finals.
Wow.
That's it.
The Western Conference is a little different, though, isn't it? Like, when you look at the Western Conference odds, look at that. That tells me, look at that.
It's even worse.
Any one of those teams could win the West, right? I mean, that's what those numbers tell me. Look, it could be A, B, C, or D. And D, the one on the right, the T-Wolves, are down, up a game. They're up 1 game to none. They get the worst numbers. Or the highest odds, I mean.
Yeah, that's all a crock. That's all ridiculous. Denver's winning that, and stop it, people. And you can get them at a better price now because they lost game 1, but Denver's winning the West. Make no mistake about it. It's going to be Denver, Boston, and then we're going to learn about whether or not Boston can actually compete against the Denver Nuggets. It's just write it in, Dave. It's over. Denver wins. Put it on a piece of paper, and we'll talk about it next.
Tory Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked up the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those 2 things and hope that Darvin takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in here, InGame Live, and we are PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan, and we are at the break currently in the NBA, 55-49. Pacers on top there. Straight pick 'em right now in game if you're looking to get involved with either side there. On the ice, though, however, this has been a very interesting first period. 0-0 Boston and Florida game 1 as George Kurtz steps in and joins us here. And Kurtz, What have you seen here so far from the first period between these two teams? It was very one-sided for about the first 6 or 7 minutes, but it seems that things have gotten a little bit more even as this first period has gone on.
Yeah, I think coming in, it's the old rest versus rust factor, right? Was it going to help Boston if they played on Saturday? So they're used to playing, high energy, ready to go right away. Or Florida, it seems like they haven't played in 2 weeks. All right, so how long would it take them to get going here? And how does that change as the series goes on here? Florida, once again, theoretically should only get better, right? They'll only get better because they're back in the groove. Things are playing here. They're the better team anyway, right? In my mind, for Boston to have any chance in this series as it is, Swayman or Olmark, they have to steal at least 2 games, at least 2, to have really a shot in this series here. But so far, so good for Boston. It looks like they're about to go on a power play as well in the last minute of the first period.
Pretty impressed, George. I got to be honest. The Bruins withstood the first 5-6 minutes, and now they didn't have the shot on goal until the 7-minute mark of the first period. They're out shooting the Panthers 13-9 now, going on a power play, putting all the pressure on. Bobrovsky just made a couple saves. I don't know what he was doing. It looked like he was dancing, like Gene Kelly, going side to side and doing all this other stuff. Joe asked me the question earlier. First goal wins in this game? Like, do you think the team that scores first, is it that big of a deal in this game like it is in some of the other games we saw over the weekend?
Oh, interesting question. Is it that big a deal? I think it is for Boston. All right. They need to score first. They're not really a chance built to come from behind, right? This is smelling like another 2-1, 3-2 game at best, right? Maybe you get the 3-2, and that would be a lot right now. It smells like another 2-1 game, which Boston has played a truckload of, which, once again, I guess is good news for them because they're used to playing it. Like I said, I think Swayman has to be out of his mind. Just has to be, because Florida is the better team here. But they're not. This is not the Colorado Avalanche. It's not the Edmonton Oilers. They don't have that kind of offensive firepower. They're more of an NHL hockey team. Kachuk, Verhaeghe, Barkov, Tarasenko. Can they score goals? Sure, but they're not going to score. They're not going to score 6, 7 goals a game. They're sort of built to win 3-2, 3-1. So I think it's important for Boston to score first because they're not. I don't think they're going to come from behind. Where Florida, depending on when that first goal is, I think they have a much better chance of coming back from a 1-goal deficit, not 2. Because once you go down 2, Boston's going into that defensive zone. You're just not going to get through to them. But I think it's more important for Boston to score first than Florida.
InGame 3.5 right now here, George. Juice to the over. But this is going to be interesting. I mean, they're going to start because the period just ended. So it does look like they'll start with about, a minute left on the power play when they begin the second period. The rust factor, how Boston didn't luck their way into 2 goals in this first period is beyond me, since Bobrovsky couldn't hold on to the puck, gave it away out of the crease, and somehow we had one hit the post already. So the shots have been there. The sloppiness has been there for Florida. But ultimately, 3.5 here. How many goals are we looking at in this game?
The number's right? Because if it was 4.5, we'd all be taking the under. All right, then if it was 5.5, we'd all be taking the under here. So it is right as far as the number is concerned here. This smells like 2-1 again. That's just the way it smells here. But the empty net goal, and it's always the bugaboo nowadays because they pull the goalie so early here with 3 minutes, 4 minutes left there. So there's always a shot. I mean, I know I had to sweat out that Ranger game yesterday trying to get over 6.5. I didn't even get the empty net goal. I got Carolina to score late. Thank you very much. I appreciated that, guys. So I think it's 2-1. I think we're going under. I don't think we're going to see a big time goal switch in and how many goals going to get here. We're going to have some chances here, but I think Bobrovsky. I feel confident in Swayman. Bobrovsky scares me because I don't fully trust the guy, which is probably not fair. He had a fantastic season, right? With his goals against 2.37, he only had a 915 save percentage with the 2.37 goals against average, which tells me, by the way, 915. Oh, you didn't get a lot of shots. You got a decent amount of shots. That save percentage be 922, 925 and above. So you didn't get a lot of shots because the defense plays so well here. So I'm still leaning under here. I just 2-1 smells like that final score.
Ooh. Did you see the Eastern Conference odds to win it all? I did. Or at least to represent the East. I mean, Carolina was the favorite. They lose game 1 at the Rangers, which again, the Rangers, it was a pick 'em game, but that's not a total surprise when you look at the odds, all right, now the winner of this game tonight, if it's Florida, they probably become not an overwhelming favorite, but they would become the favorite. So now, okay, they already are at a couple books. Boston wins tonight. That's a gigantic advantage price because not that you flip them, but where's the value when you look at that board, George? Somebody's going, hey, I'm just trying to get into hockey right now, and I've only got four options. Who's winning the East?
I generally don't care about losing the first game or winning the first game, by the way. No one was expecting a sweep for the Rangers or the Carolina Hurricanes. So if you liked Carolina before game one, you should probably still like them now. You know, and the same thing with whoever wins this game. That being said, if I was to rank these teams coming right now 1 to 4 here, I'd have Florida 1, Rangers 2, Carolina 3, Boston 4. I just think Boston, and like I said, they need the goalies to play exceptional. If Swayman has an off night, that's it. That game's over. All right, they need him to be exceptional for 12 more games or 11 games and 2 more periods. He has to be exceptional, or they're not going to have too much of a chance here to win. Where the other teams, Florida, Carolina, Rangers, all can have something else to rely on here. The problem with Carolina is this, and I think we saw it yesterday. 1 bad goal a game from Anderson. 1 bad goal, which is why I have them behind the other 2 teams here. I like Florida as my best team to move it on.
0 for 5 on the power play, too, last night. Don't forget.
Yes. Yeah, not living up to the hype, so to speak, here. But nothing here. When we come back, we'll take a look at the West as we had another Game 7 winner last night and some Major League Baseball with George Kurtz on InGame Live Primetime.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also it's a great pick to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those 2 things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We'll do it live. Welcome back InGame Live Primetime here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan, the one and only George. I love the Islanders. Kurtz in the house. Unfortunately, the Islanders playing some golf right now, which George wishes they weren't, but they are. And I'll tell you who's playing. We've got a whole lot of people playing still. Florida, Boston, knotted up, nothing. End of period 1. We talked about earlier, George, how the Rangers came out firing, looked real good against Carolina. We did watch Dallas get it done against the champs there, Vegas, and that kind of felt like it could have went either way the entire game there. Another great Game 7 spot here. But now, what do we do here? Because it seems like the entire world thinks it's just Edmonton. Forget Vancouver. They're not going to win a game. They're going to, third-string goalie and all, right? Demko's not walking through that door anytime soon. So, but they are a feisty group here. What are we going to end up with here in the west side of the bracket?
Yeah, listen, I think Edmonton beats Vancouver as well here. Has not really little to do with the third-string goalie. Silovs has played very well. Casey DeSmith has played well. We don't know in Demko if and when he come back here. I know Vancouver beat Edmonton all 4 times this season, but I believe 3 of those times were before Edmonton realized the season started, right? Before they even fired their head coach there. So you sort of throw that out the window here. Do I think we're going to get some overs? Yeah, I do. I think we're going to see some fun hockey with Edmonton and Vancouver here. Or for Vancouver, they better play some fun hockey. They got a little too defensively shelled versus Nashville. You beat them, congratulations, but you got to open up a little bit more against Edmonton, so I don't think you'll be able to beat them. But I think Edmonton is just a better team now than when Vancouver and Edmonton played each other earlier in the season. So I do like Edmonton. I think this is as far as they go, by the way. I don't think Edmonton's beating Dallas or Colorado. I think it's as far as they go, but I do like Edmonton to come out of the series. I think it'll be decently long. I would say Edmonton in 6.
Did I hear you say that Dallas or Colorado is the winner of that series is going to the Stanley Cup Finals, George? Is that what I heard? There's a couple specials that the boys put together on a graphic as far as the length of the series, and will any series end on an overtime goal? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Wow,
that's
a hell of a market.
Come on, that's
wow.
That's not gonna happen. But George, Western Conference, the winner of the other series is going. That's your plan?
Yeah. Listen, I had Dallas as the best team. All right, I have Dallas as the best team in the West. Had them going in. I have Dallas, Florida meeting each other in the finals. That was my pick before the playoffs started. I'm not going away from that now. I think Dallas, Colorado is just another big boy series. We just saw Dallas get by Vegas in 7. Anyone shocked if it's Dallas and Colorado? They go to 7 games as well. When it becomes a little puck luck game there, wouldn't shock me at all. Well, I said Dallas taking the hard road here. Let's go Vegas. Let's go Colorado, and just for giggles, let's say it's Edmonton. Boy, that's fun. To come out of the West was always going to be a prize fight. Whoever can last the 15 rounds here, the way it used to last back in the day, right? So yeah, I'm on Dallas, but boy, did Colorado kick it to another gear. They kicked it to another gear in the playoffs against Winnipeg, right? A lot of people liked Winnipeg in that series because they had kicked the snot out of Colorado all in the regular season. Didn't matter in the playoffs. So I don't think it'll be easy, and I'm very curious to see, can Gorgiev do it again? He woke up after game 1, or Colorado made great adjustments, maybe a combination of both. Can they do it again here? I just think Dallas is the better overall team, 1-20 here. So I'm going to go Dallas in 7.
You got a baseball
so we've got
you got that?
Yeah. No, this is going to be great. So you're going, Kurtz. You're going Marlins, is it? Alternate line, minus 1.5. What exactly is the play you're going with?
No, I'm not going the Marlins.
No.
Alternate line here. I put my.
Sorry, I read that wrong.
The Marlins. Well, they have somebody who's pitching tonight for the Marlins. Someone named Munoz, I think. I mean, who the hell is that?
Dave Sharapan.
Yeah, who's that?
Dave Sharapan's pitching.
Dave Sharapan disguised for all I know. He's got that green turquoise going here. I think Dave needs my shirt here. Go throw a couple balls. I think the over's going to come in the Dodger game as well here because the Dodgers are going to hit Munoz, right? They're scoring 5-6 runs all by themselves at least, if not more. And Buehler, his first start back, he's been so in the minors for this past half a dozen starts. Maybe he's bored, maybe he's not. But that's why they kept him down there so long, because he wasn't pitching all that well. He's giving up some runs as well here. Dodgers don't have a closer anymore. Phillips is on the IL. I think this game goes over. I like the Dodgers to win the game. You want to go on the run line, that's fine. You want to pair them with Texas. They're playing Oakland. I like that too. Andrew Heaney going there, sort of pitching for his starting rotation spot there too. So yeah, I'll take Texas and the Dodgers over. I'll take Texas and the Dodgers on the run line.
I for one, am floored with the chalk that you just brought to the table here. I don't know if anybody saw that coming. Kurtz, good luck. Don't choke on that chalk. And we'll be back after this. Go get it, Kurtz.
Tory Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze's not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked out the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvin takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, PrimeTime.
We got not one, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome in, off and running another hour here of InGame Live Prime Time. Happy Monday to you. A lot going on right now across the sports betting universe, as we've got a couple of playoff games underway, as the NBA second round underway between the Pacers and the New York Knicks. It is knotted up at 62 apiece right now with 8 minutes to go in the third. Knicks were down 6 at the break. They erased that in the first 4 minutes here of the second half. So interesting game there we're keeping an eye on. Also, nice little back and forth between the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins in the second round of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Nothing there, though. Under 3.5 is the in-game number there. Still right around the same line as it was. Minus 150 for Florida right now. Plus 120 for the Bruins on the money line if you're looking to dive in there. And we got some great, actually, a couple of really good baseball games underway here, Dave. How about this Padres-Cubs game? I mean, Darvish started against Steele, who hadn't pitched, I think, since week 1. Then he got shelved and went to the IL. But he gets back here tonight, and they both are pitching lights out at Wrigley. It's 0-0 heading into the top of the 8th. I did not see that score happening.
No, it's crazy, right? It's the top of the 6th in Wrigley, and it's 0-0.
I'm sorry. Yes.
That's fine. But
Still
it's
crazy.
3 hits apiece, and the total is the same total as the in-game total of the hockey game, 3.5. Now, that is a drastic. Yeah, I just clicked refresh, and it's 3.5. So these guys are dealing. I didn't look at the pitch count yet, but you figure they're going to be out of the game soon, and maybe we get to the bullpens. But, yeah, I got the Cubs. I'm sweating this out right now. Got the Panthers in that game. So we're looking at it, and I'm trying to just balance it out and go this way. Another really good baseball game is the one going on, Minnesota against Seattle. I'm a big Luis Castillo fan and thought, okay, this is a little bit much. They're favored on the road. That thing closed with them favored on the road. They are trailing 1-0, top of 7. We're into the bullpens there. Okay. So we got a shot. But Minnesota just won 12 in a row, lost yesterday, and then home dogs in their own park. I told Peralt this morning, I said Minnesota play for sure or nothing. Just let it go. Can't make Seattle favorite, although they're pitching. This one screamed under before the game, and it's delivered. One of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best cashes of basically. I don't want to say it's an everyday cash register, but man, betting against the White Sox has been pretty good, has it not? I mean, Tampa today with Clevinger, the number was actually kind of fair. Huge steam came on the White Sox, and Tampa's leading 8-2. Is that right? I got the score right here. Yeah, 8-2.
Yeah, no, Tampa hadn't beaten the White Sox since like last year. They just got swept a couple of weeks ago in Chicago. So you would have thought that they would not allow Chicago to beat them again here, and they're on their way to that after a great come-from-behind win against the Mets yesterday in extra innings. Then they bring in the White Sox, who just had their number, and so far so good for them. I'm still trying to figure out how it is the Twins have one run on one hit. That's right, one run, one hit. Castillo has been dominant, just one walk, 7 strikeouts, but Correa was the only one to get a single after a walk in order to be able to get a run in. That's it. The bullpen is in for Minnesota as Jax is on the mound, but Castillo was still in. We'll see if he's doing that. No, he is, because it's top of the 7th. He's still in right now. So we'll have to see. He finished the 6th, so he's got 6. That's over 17.5 outs if anybody took that prop, which I don't know. That's getting more and more popular, Dave. Have you noticed that? Starting pitcher, the number of outs, you're starting to see that pop a little bit too in the prop betting market, becoming a fan favorite.
Yeah, I did the Pirates pregame show last year, and having to come up with a prop every day is challenging enough, and then having to vary it is a big. I mean, it's hard. You can't just bet the same thing over and over and over when you do these shows and talk about all this stuff. So they're like, can you find a market that is a little bit different, of all these offerings? So I started doing it last year. And when you get a guy against, I don't want to say like Keller today against the Angels. I said Keller starting pitching against bad teams is good. Keller starting pitching against good teams is bad. His outs prop against bad teams over was one of my favorite props last year, because they wouldn't move the number. The books automate these things, and it just takes the same number every time they start. It doesn't take into account the opponent. So, I mean, what are you going to move it from 16.5 to 15.5 to 17.5? It might move 1, but they wouldn't move it for 5 starts in a row. So if you can get a couple pitchers on your radar and consistently play those are becoming really very popular in the content space. I don't know how popular they are yet in the book, because it's a next level cut, right? You got to go.
Yes.
1, it's baseball. 2, it's a starter. And 3, you're asking to pay attention to a certain number of outs. It's a lot to ask. The Panthers just killed another penalty, by the way. So that penalty is done. A minute into the period, it's still tied 0-0. Joe, is there any number you want to bet over in this hockey game? If we get to the 2.5 and the 3 number is there to play over, does that interest you?
Oh, well, I already took the Panthers team total over 2.5 here. So
okay.
That was at plus money, by the way, in during the break here. So that is, and because I do think the winner has 3 goals in this game. So pick your poison. Since I'm already on the Panthers, might as well take their goals over 2.5, because I do think 3 is coming, and I do think that this should be a 3-1 maybe. I think is going to be ultimately the final. So I'm close to going over in this here, Dave, because I do think some goals are coming here in the second, and I definitely think some goals are going to be coming in the third period. So I wouldn't be jumping all over the under just yet. I do think both teams to score in the second, Dave. What do you think? 18 minutes to go. They just killed off the power play. 1-1 heading into the third.
I would think if we get one, we get two. So second period over is not a bad bet. Like this isn't going to end 1-0.
Yep.
Right? Either there's no goals scored or we're going to get multiple goals scored. So I think that's probably a good bet. Man, Swayman is so on right now. I mean, he is so relaxed. I like to look at the goalies. And I mean, you heard Kurtz talk about it last hour. The goalies kind of, I don't want to say dictate the mood or the, level of calm with a team. But man, Swayman, if I was playing right now, I'd be telling all the boys on the bench, listen, let's go. He got it. We got to get him one. It might only need, we might only need one tonight. And I just keep watching it. He's just getting more confident and confident. I don't know. We got to get a goal, Joe. Florida got to get a goal.
Seattle has the bases loaded, nobody out right now, top of the seventh inning, down 1-0 against Minnesota. So Ty France coming up, bases juiced, nobody out. The Twins have one run on one hit. Will it be a losing streak for the Twins? We're going to have to wait and find out, see what happens here. Plus an update from Madison Square Garden when InGame Live Primetime continues.
Tory Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked out the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, Primetime.
We got not one, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in here, InGame Live, and we are prime time on this Monday as it's getting good here across the board. NBA playoffs right now at the Garden. Knicks out in front here, and it's been an interesting third period. Still got about 3.5 minutes to go. 73-70 right now with about 3.5 minutes to go. Make that 73-71. As the Knicks not getting out into transition in this game, which has been a bit of a problem for them. But certainly looks like it's going to be a photo finish with the Knicks and the Pacers. And we also have some tremendous goaltending happening with the Panthers and the Bruins here. Still 0-0. Swayman playing out of his mind here with about 14 and a half to go in the second period there. Great baseball games going on right now. 3-2, Kansas City and Milwaukee. Bases juiced no more. It is 1-1 now, Twins and Seattle, and we're getting ready for the Texas Rangers, Oakland Athletics, and then, of course, the Miami Marlins taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers and the return of Walker Buehler. Nobody knows that better than Mr. Mark Zinno stepping in here and joining us this evening. And Zen, we'll get to some baseball here in a minute, but it's very hard for you to separate your Knick fandom from what the betting market is providing us here. Pretty much what you thought we were going to get so far with this back and forth. Not a lot of big runs for either team.
I mean, look, just to show you how objective of a fan I am, I took the Pacers +6 tonight. The Knicks don't separate. They don't. Like that this look, and if you look at the 3 regular season games, guys, and you look at how they went, it tells you all you need to know about how this series goes. This is, as plain and simple as styles make fights. The Pacers are the second fastest team in the NBA. The Knicks are the slowest team in the NBA. If this thing continues to trend towards an over, then it's going to favor the Pacers. If it stays towards an under, it's going to favor the Knicks. And crazy part is, look at this. The average total of the 3 games that they played, guys, was 239.5. The total here was 217. It was 3 touchdowns different. So you're looking at a scenario here where I felt like that number was way too low. But we've seen a lot of these unders come in the playoffs, and I don't necessarily believe, again, I keep saying this, it's not about the great defense. I think teams are shooting bad, but you're starting to see, as we get deeper, teams are starting to kind of normalize to what some of their regular season numbers are. And this game is trending over the whole way. I mean, both these teams should be near 80 by the time the end of this quarter goes. So I think it's going to end up pushing over here. But look, the bottom line is for me is I felt the number was too big. I made the number Knicks -4 or -4.5 would have been more comfortable. When they opened at 6.5, I knew I was taking the Pacers. Missed the best of the number, didn't care, still took them +6.
Zen, does a lack of depth concern you as a Knicks guy? I mean, Joe looked at it at halftime, and the Knicks had 49 points. 48 of them were from the starters. There was 1 point from the bench. They've used a lot of guys, a lot of minutes. I mean, not a lot of guys, but a lot of minutes, whereas the Pacers feel like a deeper team. Is that a concern?
I mean, look, they're missing one of their best players, and they have for the last 3 months in Julius Randle. That's a lot of their depth. Like, Josh Hart was never playing this many minutes with Julius Randle in the lineup. Now, he's done really well. I can't take it away from him. And the same thing for Dante DiVincenzo. These guys are probably getting 8 or 9 minutes more a game without Randle around. So I think they're used to it by now. If this was like a new injury, I might be a little bit more concerned. But the Knicks have adjusted to life without Randle, and I think they're comfortable where they are. And look, at the end of the day, the Knicks are a one-man show. And I don't mean to denigrate anybody else in the Knicks. Obviously, I'm a Knicks fan, but they'll go as far as Brunson can take them. I mean, you saw that in the Sixers series. Brunson had a couple of bad games. He got picked up by his teammates, and the Knicks ended up winning. I think that's possible game in and game out. But if Brunson's going to have a bad 3 or 4 games in a series, the Knicks are going home. Like, they need him to be playing at the highest level. They'll go as far as he can take them. And if they get past this series, which, again, I think Knicks in 5 is a worthwhile bet at +320. I mean, you missed it now. Obviously, it's the first game started. But, if the Knicks get past this series, it's going to take more than Jalen Brunson to beat the Celtics. It's going to take a whole entire team of guys playing really well for 6 or 7 games in order for them to do that.
And the Knicks have missed about 4 or 5 layups at the rim here right now that have just been absolutely nauseating. Brunson had 18 at the break. He's got 22 right now. So it's not been not the same kind of production here in the third quarter. But the Knicks, once again, and I feel like if the Knicks are going to win this series, they're going to have to win the foul line. They got 13 out of 15 so far, which is good. But they've got to be, to me, Zen, they've got to be 25 shots at the free throw line a game. They should be able to do it, given the fact that nobody gets to the free throw line better than Brunson and company.
Yeah, and again, the free throws will certainly help. I think a guy like Obi Anunoby is really sort of one of those X factors for the Knicks. He's having a bad night shooting. He's 3 for 11. Everybody else is picking him up here. But if you're getting DiVincenzo to hit threes and you're getting Anunoby inside to be able to create some more size advantages, they're going to be a tough team to beat. I see what you're talking about, Dave, with the depth. Over the course of the series, that'll probably bring itself to light. But for a given game like it is tonight, where 4 starters are in double figures and they've only gotten, a total of 22 minutes from their bench, they'll be okay. If this thing goes deeper and they keep seeing those kind of numbers in 5, 6, 7 games, they may wear down later on.
Quick update. The Padres got 6 runs at the top of the 6, Joe.
Yes.
That total of 3.5 is long gone.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Cubs bullpen, trash, no good. Zin, look forward to the night game in the hoops. I mean, we were talking about a huge steam move came today on the Nuggets, and I could see why if Gobert isn't going to play.
He's playing.
One of those ones where you look at and go, I mean, is this the zigzag theory to a T? You know, you just automatically play Nuggets?
Davis, as much as it is like, aren't the reports of the Nuggets' demise like greatly overrated at this point? Like people,
they lost one game.
Right. The Minnesota Timberwolves odds went from like 30 to 1 to win the title before the series started down to like 8 to 1 after one game. Like I think we're a little bit, we are overexcited about Minnesota right now. Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, it's the props are still active for Rudy Gobert, so I'm going to assume he is playing in this game here tonight. We'll talk more about it here as In-Game Live Primetime continues.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also it's a great pick to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those 2 things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back In-Game Live, and we are prime time here. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan, Mark Zinno hanging with us here. We're at the end of the third, 87-82 here as the Pacers, a 33-32, I believe, 33-32 third quarter. Knicks did get a point back, but they're still down 5 heading into the fourth. Vin, are you feeling confident?
No, I actually feel glorious about where I am because what I want to happen is exactly what's going to happen. the Knicks are going to win by 2. And that means I cover my +6 and I still get a series win. This is the perfect spot I want to be in with them up by 5. So I have an 11-point cushion. I'm jinxing the hell out of this, by the way. I have an 11-point cushion heading into the fourth quarter. All I got to do is get the Knicks to lead the next quarter by 7 points. And I'm the happiest guy on planet Earth right now until I watch the Nuggets first quarter, where I laid it -1.5 with Denver.
Ooh. Okay. No, that
Listen,
makes
when
sense.
your head coach calls out your entire starting lineup in the media and says our starters need to be better, and you're the defending champs, that's enough for me to go, yeah, the coach made it known that he's not happy with the way this team is started. Remember, they led at the end of the first quarter in game 1, but they got into an 18-4 hole to start that game, right?
Yep.
In game 1, they were down 18-4. And if Denver wants a script here where they are going to control and take control of game 1, they gotta have a good start. Like they can't dig themselves a hole. They've got to play from ahead.
This was a recurring theme against the Lakers too. This is
all 5 games ahead.
You can't do that against Minnesota. No. You're right. Go ahead.
No, the funny part is that I just kind of felt like that the Lakers series, the Nuggets didn't really take them seriously because they knew they were going to beat them. That's why I wasn't making much of, they trailed at half, and they came back and won, because they never really thought the Lakers were really going to challenge them. I don't know if they think that same thing about Minnesota. Game 1 should have been the wake-up call that, hey, Minnesota's legit, other than the fact that, Minnesota was right there with you all season long at the top of the West. So I don't know what you would need a wake-up call for. It's not like Minnesota was Fugazi by any stretch of the imagination. They're the best defense in the NBA. So I think that maybe, hopefully, for the Denver Nuggets, they got the wake-up call they needed. But I do think, again, people that were sitting here talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves, all of a sudden being NBA title contenders, it might be a little bit early for that. Now they go in an 0-2 hole. I'm still not going to count the defending champs out, but I am going to say, okay, Denver's now got their backs against the wall. Let's see how the defending champs respond. But I wouldn't go so far as to say Minnesota is a better team than Denver. I don't think objectively they're a better team.
Okay. Look ahead to tomorrow, the games that start tomorrow. Joe and I talked about it earlier. How many games did the Celtics win this series in? Joe's taking a shot, sweep or 5. But, really, legitimately, how many games does Cleveland win? You see the series price, it tells you none or 1. That's what it says to me.
There are 2 thoughts that run through my head. One, I don't think Cleveland's going to win either of the first 2 games. However, when they get back home and that defense gets ramped up, let's see what the Celtics are made of. But remember, this is the same Celtics team that kind of went to 6 games with the Hawks because they got lazy last year. They got beat in 7 games by Miami. It's not out of the realm of possibility to think that the Celtics can trip over their own 2 feet here and allow the Cavaliers to get 2 games in this series. I don't think that's totally out of the realm of possibility. Coming off the emotional high of Game 7 over Orlando, it doesn't set up well for Cleveland. But I would argue again, when you're playing Boston, the formula is simple. If you're going to take Cleveland, take them in the first quarter of the first half. Why? Because if they're not covering them, they're not going to cover late. They're not going to make a run against Boston. So they've got to play with a lead and play with a lead early. Otherwise, they're going to be dead in the water from the start.
A bit of a problem here at the Garden as the Knicks can't make a bucket, and now it's a 9-point Pacer lead, 94-85. In-game total here is in 229.5. Are we getting to 230 points?
Hello.
Are we really? You think so?
The game that will go under is the game the Knicks will win. That's right. The Knicks are not built to win a lot of over games, period.
Wow. Look at 229.5. 5.5 is what the Knicks are getting now. Hell of a middle opportunity for those that might have taken it with Indiana. I'm just saying we might have to take a quick break so we can all hit the bet button here in a minute, but we'll have more when in-game live primetime continues here on the grid. You got it.
Tory Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also it's a great pick to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, PrimeTime.
We got not one, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Well, you're never going to guess what we've got here. Oh, yes. It's the sound of champions there as the Bruins ended up turning it over in their own zone, and Keith Kachuk made them pay there. That is a goal. That is 1-0 Florida, Dave, I think. 7 minutes to go here up on Boston. I didn't see if the line... No, make that a turnover by Florida now in the zone, and that's another goal. So that both teams to score is another winner here, Dave. Real quickly, and the over. I think we're right back where we started from here.
We're back to exactly what we said was going to happen in the first hour. Just happened. Scoreless first period. We're going to get 2 goals in the second period. Just did. Bruins scored and answered. Settle in. This one may go a while. This has been
another turnover.
Yeah, this has been really good. So 7 minutes left. We may not be done scoring. We may not be done scoring, boys.
No.
But this is back to 4.5 now in game. So 2.5 was the number.
We're good.
Vinny said it in our ear. That was the play. Hopefully somebody got on that, because now over 2.5 is a lock. And you can't ever use the word lock in this business, but it's done because somebody has to score.
That's a lock.
Yeah, good news. That's good news. Zid,
now
is
let's
there
see
any
if we
good
get one
news in the
more here
baseball
before it's over.
Is there any good news to report in the baseball for you? Because I heard you lamenting about the Royals, and I heard you lamenting a little bit. Did you say anything about the Mets? The Mets took a 4-3 lead in the 7th over the Cardinals. Anything else happening in baseball that you want to discuss real quick?
I did take the A's here. And remember we talked about this, Dave. Remember we talked about this? The A's and their season win total. Joe, you and I talked about this too, at 56.5. And we laughed. I thought it was crazy that number was so low. And I said, I want to take the over. And then I looked at them. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. This team stinks. They have 17 wins on the year. Guys, all they have to do is win 8 or 9 games for the next 5 months, and they will get over. Like, you play 25, 26 games a month. They have to play 250 baseball the rest of the way, and they will get over their season win total. Like, so, I mean, you know, you're never as bad as some of these teams want you to be. But I took the A's tonight, plus 1.5 at around minus 145. You have Andrew Heaney on the mound. who by definition is not a good pitcher anymore. And not only that, he's only getting 2.5 runs of support in each of his starts. The Rangers have lost all 6 of the starts that he's made this year. And I'm going to take the 1.5 here with the A's. You know, I probably didn't need to be honest with you, because either Texas, I think, wins and blows them out, or the A's win outright. Probably could have just went with the money line here. But I felt like the plus 1.5, you know, the best bet you can make in baseball here was the way to go. And, you know, I have a feeling that when I saw this number and it was only Texas like minus 130 on the money line, I'm like, that's way too low. Like when you're pricing Oakland that short of a dog, they're probably going to win the game.
Joe, what did Captain Chalk have? Do you remember? Captain Chalk had Texas, didn't he?
Yeah, he had Texas and the Dodgers. Shocker here. By the way, it's now a 4-point game there, as the Knicks are now plus 2.5. So
there we go.
That middle opportunity was a whole lot of fun right there. Also, it should be noted, Gobert is out tonight, has been ruled out. He will not play in this game. The total is the thing that has moved the most. Still seeing 7s across the board for Denver, but this total is now up to 210.5 without Gobert roaming the paint here. Zin, I still don't think it matters. I thought it was going over to begin with. I still think it's going over in here. What are you thinking?
I mean, look, again, this is one of these things where the under wholly bets Minnesota, wholly favors Minnesota. I mean, Denver, if Denver can get, what is their team total for tonight? I didn't even look. Let me just take a quick
That's what I was looking at.
108
It was 100.5.
If they are not going to approach that number, they're not going to be successful. It's going to be a much tougher game for them. They have got to score. And Joker has got to score early. Like he was 2 of 9 in the first quarter in game 1. Can't happen. Now ended up with 8 or 9 points in the first quarter because he got to the free throw line 4 times. But you know, those are just not numbers you want Nikola Jokic to live with. And everybody's got to be better. And Jamal Murray's got to be better. I mean, you know, and with Gobert out, it should be a feast in the middle for Nikola Jokic. So, you know, I don't know if his point prop number shot up, but it feels like, you know, that's a number that you can jump on here with Jokic with Gobert out. But all this sets up to me with the Nuggets, you know, winning here. And, oh, by the way, the Nuggets only lost back-to-back home games once. Now, the second tail of that back-to-back home game that they lost was to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So there is that. But, again, this is not a team that's going to lose a lot of games at home. I mean, I think we're overreacting to Denver losing game 1. And this is Anthony Edwards' coming out party. There's no doubt about it. And he can put this team on his back, and he might be able to beat the Denver Nuggets. And look, there's a reason to believe that if they get past this series, they might not lose to the NBA Finals, because I would probably bet on Minnesota to beat either Dallas, definitively Dallas. They will destroy Dallas. OKC, I don't know that they'll have that much luck, but I don't think Dallas is getting past OKC anyway.
That was going to be my next question. That one,
30.5, by the way, is his point prop. 30.5.
Who?
Jokic,
the Joker. Yeah,
you might want to give it a whirl, folks. You might want to give it a whirl.
Wow.
Because put it to you this way,
that's
I think it's all correlated. It's all correlated. Like, if Jokic gets over 30, that means the Nuggets are scoring more than 110, 112, and they're going to win the game.
Yep.
Like all this stuff's going to be correlated. If Jokic is sitting there with 25 points, I mean, he could have 9 boards and 9 assists. He'll have a great night. He could have a triple-double. But if he ain't scoring, that means Denver's not scoring. Because how many nights does Jokic not become the leading scorer and Denver win by margin? Not many.
What about the Dallas OKC? You said you like OKC to win the series?
Can we just acknowledge something? That maybe Dallas beating the Clippers is more of a referendum on the Clippers not being great and being flawed, because the Clippers really only had one solid stretch of the season where we thought that they were legitimate, right? They got to the top of the Western Conference, and then all of a sudden what happened? They just went in the tank for 2 or 3 weeks, and we're back to normal. So I think it's more of a referendum on the Clippers being just average and Dallas being just average, and now they're playing the best team in the West with good reason. People still want to write the Thunder off because they're this young team and not buy into them. I don't believe it. I got an 82-game sample size that tells me they're the better team by a considerable margin, and I'm going to back OKC to win this series.
4 is that opening number, by the way. 217.5. It does. Is it an over series?
I am going to jump all over OKC at 4. To me, that feels
That's
like
4.
a gift. Yeah, it feels like a gift because that number would be 6. And the only way that OKC ends up in a tight game is similar to what happened in Game 1 against New Orleans. They just got nervous and tightened up.
Bruins with another goal.
Wow.
Right off the power play. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So now 2-1 here. Bruins on top. And we still have, we still got a few minutes left to go here. 3.5 minutes to go. They are now 0 for 16 in power plays against the Bruins this season. Not good. Panthers, not good. Total 5.5, though, for those keeping track at home. So a little bit more than the 2.5 on what we had there. Zin, look at this. The Rangers and the Athletics are just about underway here. You had Marlins alternate line, was it? Minus 2.5, you were going? No, that wasn't you.
I had Oakland plus 1. No, I'm not that stupid. I had Oakland plus 1.5.
Joe's not even paying attention. Don't pay attention when Zeno's talk.
Why would Marlins alternate line? You can give the Marlins a touchdown. I still wouldn't bet it.
Talking about? He said that. He's not even paying attention to the show.
I can't get anybody to back the Marlins here tonight.
Why?
I keep trying. I just can't get anybody to do it. But now they're going to win by 10, and we all know it. Zin, good luck tonight, man.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze's not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those 2 things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, PrimeTime.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Something.
Yep. All right, welcome back in here. InGame Live. We are prime time. Get you update on what's going on. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan. We welcome in our good friend Cam Stewart, getting ready to take over at the top here with Gabe Morency. It got really close here for the Knicks now, 104-103. With about 5.5 to go in that one. Great back and forth. In-game total, by the way, 235.5. So much for the Knicks being an under team. We also have an extra goal by the Bruins now. So 2-1 with 2.5 to go in the second period. I would classify this, Cam, so far this game with the Panthers and the Bruins as just a comedy of errors, which have led to all 3 goals here. Just sloppy play by the Bruins and the Panthers led to goals right now. But if the Panthers can't score on a power play, they're not winning this series.
It's a great point, Joe. Another thing about Boston is, even though Florida has more talent, they're just one of these teams that doesn't panic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Florida scores, they come back. Florida was on the power play. Boston dominated. They were better shorthanded. And you got to worry about Swayman. It's one of these things. It doesn't matter. Like, he's just a wicked goaltender. And Bobrovsky looks like the old Bobrovsky after his days in Columbus. Been very sloppy tonight. But, you know, you get the Panthers live, and we got a period of hockey left. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes over, though. Florida's not going to quit. They're at home. But, Joe, I heard you earlier talking to Zino. I will buy in to the Miami Marlins because I can give my money losing on the Leafs, or I can bet on a loser team like the Marlins. Whatever it is, just give me a bunch of losers. That's what I do. Give me the Marlins plus 1.5, plus 140, and a sprinkle on the money line, Dave. Who knows what Walker Buehler's going to do? He might pitch a gem. He might get lit up. Maybe the over, too.
Not a bad idea.
Love it.
Right? It's Walker Buehler's first start back, so it's a very real possibility. You could take the Florida Panthers in game right now plus 230. And actually, if you really wanted to go a Miami parlay, I don't know if both teams win, but take a 1.5 or 2.5 with the Marlins and combine it with the Panthers to come back. It's very juicy right now. I mean, the Panthers are plus 230,
crazy
plus
price.
240. It's going up. This is the first time since game 4 that the Bruins are playing with a lead. Think about that. Games 5, 6, and 7, they did not have a lead until they won the series. I don't mean to bring that back up, Cam.
It's okay, Dave. I'm used to it. Like, I'm kind of numb to it, but just the way the Leafs lose, too, it's just like you don't even lose on a good play. Like a play that the goaltender needs to go and play the puck, and Marner's not even skating and past it. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, it's just, I invest my time for this crap. Anyway, who cares? They're done. Wear the Bruins jersey, Dave. I'll see you on Wednesday. You can tell your boy Peralt, I got a jersey, whatever. He wants some little bit of money. Anyway, I got a Cam Neely jersey because that's one Bruin I respect. Joe, Dave, let's talk basketball. Timberwolves. Please. I'm taking the points again. I don't care. I had them the first game. I'll take them again. I know if Denver's going to win this game, are they going to win by 8? That lines up to 7.5. So, you know what? Give me the damn points. Everyone's betting Denver like they got tomorrow's paper. I'll take the Timberwolves, please. I think it's a good play. What do you guys think?
How's it go to the total, Cam? Do you think this plays fast and goes over?
I think it goes under.
Wow, even with no Gobert. Gobert's out. Nope. He's not playing.
I don't know, man. This Knicks game's going way over the total. I don't know if both games are going to go over the total, but I got a weird vibe about the under, and I should listen to my vibes more often. Like with Mystic Dan in the Kentucky Derby, didn't add him. I would have won $8,000. I tell, Mystic Dan, I don't even bet him. Oh, no, you have no idea. Like, Dave, my weekend. Like, just golf coming up short with Norin, like the horses, like just always a day late dollar short. I'm getting really upset about it, to be honest with you. But this is what we do, and we got to keep on grinding because my boy Carver, I'm happy for him. He's hitting winners all over the board, and he's a good friend. So he hit Koepka in the live tournament that we had here on the network, and he had a piece of Pendrith. That's the great. They call me the Prime Minister, Joe, and I can't even bet on a Canadian when he wins, like an absolute stooge.
But anyway, Pendrith, the Canadian, I was laughing. I was like, he's going to figure out a way to blow this one, isn't he, Cam?
Yeah. Of course he is. I'm on Mackenzie Hughes. Wrong Canadian. Every time I take Connors, Hadwin will win. I take the other guy will win.
Yes.
Always the wrong Canadian. Like, give me the right Canadian, please. It ain't me.
Unreal.
Marlins plus 1.5, Timberwolves. It's a dog night. I'm not going to change due to bad breaks, but that's the way. And I like that price, Dave. Give me Florida with a period to go. That number's ridiculously stupid. They're at home. They're a better team.
Home?
If Borowski can figure it out, they'll tie this game and maybe win in overtime. I think the live draw might be worth a look too. I can see this game going to overtime. Yeah, Bruins like tight games, so that's what we'll do.
Oh, I like this. I like it. By the way, you can get a 1.5 first 5 for the Marlins at minus 110. So you can actually take the Marlins in the first 5 and doing it. Oh, this is not good.
Scored?
Who
scored? Boston?
Disgusting. Boston scores again on a
terrible
goal.
Oh, these guys.
A terrible goal.
Are you kidding me? They're going to be
Wow. Wow. Now that Cam, I think you said it. That's the old Bobrovsky.
Yeah,
Like that
like
right
Bobrovsky,
there is the old Bobrovsky.
If
Letting
this was
that
Bobrovsky,
awfulness get through there.
Tampa Bay would have
Wow.
won this series. This guy looks awful. He looks like a beer league goaltender. Anyway, this is what we get in hockey. This is what we get.
That's so bad.
God.
Oh,
bad.
that was
That's
so bad. That's terrible.
The Panthers look out of sorts tonight. They look like they've taken two. You know what?
Yeah.
It's a dangerous thing. I should have been on this. I would rather take the team that played recently. Too much rest in hockey is not a good thing. These guys are creatures of habit. I should have been on it, but my hate for the Bruins runs
sharp.
deep. And now I'm going to lose money. Great.
Yep. And Marchand of all people. Great.
Oh,
now
yeah,
I want to
of
throw
course.
up. Cam Star, we love you, brother.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze's not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, PrimeTime.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right. Well, it's getting good in the Garden, at least. And the Panthers in Florida taking on the Boston Bruins in the NHL playoffs are trying to figure out where it all went wrong. But I do like both teams to score in the second, Dave. That ended up going second period over. Hit for us in that. Now I just need Florida to get a couple of goals here because the over 2.5 goals for them is in jeopardy with their inability to score on the power plays, and not because they're not having chances, but I think Cam was onto something there with the, a team that hadn't played what feels like a month, gets back on the ice. They were flying around, like you said early, but not sharp in any stretch of the imagination in this one, which has led to mistakes, and kudos to Boston because they have capitalized on those mistakes right now.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you start fast, the goalie keeps the visiting team in the game, making save after save after save, and then the belief starts coming with, the visiting team in the Bruins, and then all of a sudden they score. All right, Florida scores. We're good. No. Now Boston scores again and again, and the third goal was one that I think Bobrovsky should have had. So 3-1 going to the third, not good. It is electric in Madison Square Garden right now. I went over to the basketball game, watching that. I just saw Steph Marbury at the game on the sideline going nuts. The Yankees are there. Nestor Cortez is there with Mariano Rivera. They're yelling. I mean, Walt Frazier's there all dressed up in his suit and a hat. I will give you credit. The Knicks, the Madison Square Garden is still, when the Knicks are playing like this, one of the best venues in sports. It's fun to root against them.
Absolutely.
It's more fun to root on them when you're a Knicks fan. When they're good like this, the magic comes back, and then boom, the Pacers just tied it. 113. You think we'll get another gift with a total of 217 the next game? I don't think so.
Yes, I do. I think it's coming.
The total's going to stay the same?
I think this is an anomaly. I don't think it's going to be 230 some odd points. And the playoffs are a different animal. You'll have games like this, and then the first one to 98 will win the next game, and then that'll be the end of it. Although I'll tell you this, the public will overreact to this, and the totals will be inflated. Absolutely, in the next game. So be aware of that, because that is coming here. Still no score, by the way. Rangers and Athletics. The Mets and Cardinals 4-3, bottom of the eighth. And the Padres 6-3 over the Cubs. Cubs won't go away. They're still making a comeback. We're awaiting the first pitch with the Marlins and the Dodgers. And right now you can still hop in getting plus 2.5 on the Marlins if you're feeling frisky. And you can also get pretty good price, Dave, on the Florida Panthers, plus 2.5. 6.5 is the total, Dave. What are we? How many more goals are we getting here in game one?
If you think Florida has a shot at tying it, you have to play over. If you think at all,
you got to play over, right?
You have to play over. Yes. They can't allow another goal though. If Boston scores another goal, I think it's a wrap. Right? They get the 4-1, or Florida scores to make it 3-2, and then it goes 4-2. Pretty much done. I think the way it's going. So you have to hold Boston scoreless, which you did the first period. Can do it again. I don't know. Right. I feel like Florida needs a power play at this point to get back in the game. I don't know if they're going to get one, Joe. The third period of hockey game since the beginning of time. I'm 53. I've been going to games since I'm 4 years old. So 49 years. Yep. Where the refs put the whistle in their pocket in the third period. It's going to take, like I said, always used to say it, a felony. You're going to have to get 5 to 10 before you can get a penalty called in the third period of an NHL game, let alone. I think Florida does get one call, probably, right? I mean, will there be a penalty? Yes.
It's got to get one, right?
They'll probably get one shot.
Got to get one.
If we score on it, boom, we're back. We got a game. Wow, Pacers challenged a call on the floor. Pacers got the ball tied 113, Joe.
Not anymore. Tied up. 115 apiece here.
115. Wow.
So 115 apiece. 58 seconds left to go. It is coming down to who has got the ball last. I'll tell you what will get tighter, though, is these spread. I thought the 5.5, 6 was a little over the top for the Knicks. That'll shrink big time. But the value will continue to be in the totals in this market, especially after this result, because the public will go absolutely bonkers on the overs after that. Speaking of which, we're up to 209.5, 210 in the Timberwolves Nuggets coming up here, Dave. 7.5 I'm seeing popping now. This would usually be the spot, Dave. I'd be dying to go the other way here, but the market may be right in this one. It just feels like the whole public is on Minnesota.
When we wake up tomorrow, is it 1-1 or is it 2-0 Minnesota?
I think it is. I think everyone's running to Minnesota, and that may not be the right play here. Could be 7 for a reason. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too. All right, Gabe Morency, Cam Stewart coming up next. We'll be back again tomorrow. Enjoy.